what we've been told is that you spent about 8 days in Nina and then were transferred back to Green Bay. Is that right?
Yes, yes.
Do you remember being in Nina at all?
I remember my first memory actually is the last day I was there and I was being, what do you call it, told I had to go to Green Bay. I remember actually sitting in the bathroom on the toilet and they were removing stitches from my head, which was very painful, and they forced me to look in a mirror at myself because apparently I had been feeling around where the stitches were. I was aware that they had shaved half of my head, was not happy about it, and I didn't want to look. I just didn't want to look, and I do remember them forcing me to do that, and I don't remember much beyond that except being in my dad's van driving to Green Bay and just begging and begging my husband to just bring me home.
Now, the first thing you remember, the one island of memory you have, is a memory that had a very high emotional content. One, because of the shock of seeing yourself, and two, because of the pain. Is that right?
Yes, that's correct.
Can you amplify that or explain that anymore?
Well, I knew the biggest thing was having to look at myself. I knew half of my head was shaved. I had long hair, and just being a woman, you don't want to be bald. I was just horrified to see the bruises, to see the big indentation in my head, to have to feel it, to face it, to look at it. I do remember fighting or arguing with the nurse that I'm perfectly fine, that they ruined why they had to cut away my hair, what is this dent. I was more concerned about, because it was pretty ugly, I guess, to look at and to feel it, and it's like, is my skull is this going to fill in, I don't know. I remember, like I said, it looked like this side of my head was caved in. And actually, I call it a ditch.
How old are you now?
I'm 45.
So you were 40 when this happened?
Mm-hmm. 46, I'm sorry. I don't know.
So you were 40.
I was 40 when it happened, yeah.
40?
40, 40, yep.
When's your birthday?
June 12th.
Okay. You're 46 now.
Yes.
What's your date of birth?
June 12th, 65.
65. Okay, so that would have, okay. I have a little trouble with my arithmetic myself.
Oh.
Okay. Do you remember being hospitalized in Green Bay?
Yes.
Do you remember the whole time?
I remember the first night because they put me in this bed and I was zipped into something that I supposedly couldn't have gotten out of because they didn't want me walking around or getting out of bed by myself. I panicked getting in there because I just felt like I was in a cave. I felt like I was trapped like a caged animal. One of the things with my husband's training was always, wherever you are, you need to look for fire exits, and you need to know where there's 2 different ways to exit. And I do remember arguing with them that if that hospital started on fire, I wasn't going to get out. And I don't know why. I do remember in the middle of the night it kept bugging me. I did break through that zipper. I broke the zipper and went to the bathroom by myself, and they came in because when I went into the bathroom after I broke the zipper, these alarms went off. I didn't realize it was my room. Went to the bathroom and came out, and they were yelling at me, and I remember being just pissed and told them, I told you I didn't want to be in there. So then I had to promise that I would call a nurse if I had to go to the bathroom. I do remember the nurse, the next day I had gone up to go to the bathroom and she wouldn't close the door. And I was upset with that, and I fought with them about that and said, I'm not going to the bathroom in front of somebody. So my vanity was kind of sticking out a little bit there, but I just remember them, I don't know, they kept pushing and pushing, and I was just incredibly tired all the time.